When we start in chapter 5, Paul is writing this letter in response to hearing of sin that is present in the Corinth church. And he says in this letter that this sin is so bad that it is not even tolerated by the Gentiles. The Gentiles at the time are basically everybody who wasn't Jewish, is how they were referred. And so a man in the church in Corinth was sleeping with his father's wife. And Paul is telling the church that they need to confront the one that is sinning. Discipline is one of the hardest things for a church leadership to handle, and yet it is a very necessary part of a church pushing towards God. The same way your parents may discipline you when you were breaking rules, my parents did it too. They are encouraging you to learn and grow. The church does the same thing. Church leadership addresses unrepentant sin. Unrepentant sin within the congregation with a goal of restoration to protect the congregation. That all rhymed. Sin cannot be ignored because it can permeate the entire church body. So in 1 Corinthians 5, verses 6 to 8, it says, "Don't you know that a little yeast permeates the whole batch of dough? Clean out the old yeast so that you may be a new batch. You are indeed unleavened, for Christ, our Passover, has been sacrificed. Therefore, let us observe the feast, not with old yeast or with the yeast of malice and evil, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth." How many of you have made bread? Yeah. Wow, that's a lot more hands than I thought I was going to get. Good job. I make a lot of bread. I like it. And to make nice, fluffy bread, you need a leavening agent, which could come in yeast, which comes in, you probably buy it, you might buy it in a little jar and it's kind of little granules. Or maybe you make sourdough, which is like a jar of living stuff that you put into the dough, and that is going to cause a chemical reaction with the sugars, and everything's going to rise and it's going to get big and fluffy. But it does not take a whole lot of a leavening agent, so yeast, to make a loaf of bread. I might only put a tablespoon in, and I might make 4 loaves of bread. But it integrates itself into all of the other ingredients. This is the point Paul is making, that one sin can quickly permeate into the rest of the church. As Christians, we need to cleanse the old yeast or the sin from our lives, and so that we can be made new and able to be used to glorify God, not of our own selves, but of something new. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away, and look, new things have come, like it says in 2 Corinthians 5:17. When we become Christians, we become something new. And the yeast that is permeated everywhere in us, the sin, is all covered and taken away.